Nick asked Pastor Steve in Luke 17, verses 5 through 10, he says, what's the connection in verse 7 through 10 to the disciples' request in verse 5? And he says, it seems like a fine request, but I don't understand the response. Is Jesus saying just keep on keeping on?
Nick, the answer to that is starting in verse 1. It says, then he said to the disciples, it's impossible that no offenses should come, but woe to him through whom they do come. It would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were thrown into the sea, than that he should offend one of these little ones. Take heed to yourselves. If your brother sins against you, rebuke him, and if he repents, forgive him. And if he sins against you 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day returns to you saying, I repent, you shall forgive him. And then the apostles say to the Lord, increase our faith. Well, the reason they're saying increase our faith is because Jesus has just talked to them about forgiveness and the fact that it has to be done, right? And so Jesus goes on and he says, you already have enough faith. It doesn't need to be increased. That's what verse 6 is about. He says, if you have faith as a mustard seed, you can say to this mulberry tree, be pulled up by the roots and be planted in the sea, and it would obey you. And so his answer there is, you already have enough faith. I don't need to give you more. Just exercise the faith that you've got. And then he says, and which of you having a servant plowing or tending sheep will say to him when he has come in from the field, come at once and sit down to eat? But will he not rather say to him, prepare something for my supper, gird yourself, serve me till I have eaten and drunk, and afterward you will eat and drink? Does he thank that servant because he did the things that were commanded him? I think not. So likewise you, when you've done all those things which you were commanded, say we are unprofitable servants, we have done what was our duty to do. And basically what Jesus is saying there, my version of this is quit whining. It's like, are you here to serve or not? And this is what I'm asking you to do, and you need to get it done, and you're not awesome because you forgive people. You're just somebody who's doing what I've told you to do. And so there needs to be some humility involved here, and this isn't it's not an over the top request. And so that would be my short version of what Jesus would be saying there. And obviously, you know me, I could go in and we could talk about this for an hour. Yeah. But pretty much that's it. You already have enough faith, and you need to do this, and it's not something that's above and beyond what's expected. You need to treat this as a servant would, just doing the basics that the master says. So
awesome.
Yeah.
There you go, Nick. Hopefully that helps. Thanks for emailing us.